comes a certain point. To me, that the Chauvin case is one example. What happened to George Floyd is one example of a point that I'm about to make. But I want to hear your opinion on that. Sometimes all the training in the world is not going to train hate out of your heart, or the fact that you don't respect the community that you are in fact sworn to protect and to serve. What are your thoughts? I mean, and you and I were talking before we went live about some of the worst cases have happened right here in my home city of Cleveland, in the great state of Ohio. I mean, what happened to Tamir Rice comes to mind as you talk about why aren't we keeping track of people who should not be officers? I mean, the officer that shot and killed Tamir Rice should have never been hired by the Cleveland Police Department, but he was, because his previous department said this man should not be a police officer. Unfit. Yeah, right. But he was hired anyway. So I guess I'm putting two questions out there. Do you believe we can train hate out of somebody's heart or disdain out of somebody's heart? And then secondly, what will it take to get a national database that just tracks the record, like the true record after investigations have been done? Because I know people sometimes will lie on law enforcement too. So we're gonna put that in the parking lot. But the true record of law enforcement agents, law enforcement officers, so that everybody has a view of what this officer has done.
Well, on the first thing, I absolutely believe in training. I think training is important. I also believe that you can't train somebody to know that they need to get off somebody after 9.5 minutes after being on their neck when they've been unresponsive for half that time, when they haven't said a word. I mean, when a 9-year-old girl is yelling, "Get off him!" Look, the academy isn't supposed to make you dumber. The academy is supposed to make you smarter. Why did a 9-year-old girl and 3 17-year-old girls and other people who never went to the academy know that George Floyd needed medical intervention, but these 4 guys didn't know it? Oh, and one of them did know it. One of them even said it, but he didn't do it. So my point is, yeah, training is important, but humanity is even more important. And so, like, Officer Brillo shoots that couple 137 times. They're unarmed in a car. The only thing they did is they had the exhaust, do one of those, sometimes your car makes a
backfire. Yeah, the backfire. So there were officers, AG, 137 shots, but Brillo shot 40. He jumped on the hood of the car and shot 40 shots into their car. They had no weapons at all.
Standing on the hood, firing down into the car. I mean, and then the judge lets him go. Right?
Yeah, this was clean.
And I'm gonna tell you, I don't think a jury would have let him go. But my point is, this is not a matter of training. It's a matter of, do you respect other human beings or do you not? Are you on the department so you can use a gun and bully people and make people do what you want to do? Or are you on the department to protect and preserve life and help people who are vulnerable and need your help? And some people are and some people ain't. We need to get rid of the ones who are there for the wrong reasons. And so like, like those 5 guys who beat Tyree Nichols.
Yes.
I mean, those guys, don't need, I couldn't see them having any human compassion for him. They were literally torturing him. And so like, that's not a training problem. They had a lot of training. They were an elite training unit.
That's right.
And in Derek Chauvin's case, we showed in the trial that he had every CPR class. He had every CPR class. He knew how to administer chest compressions. Even after George Floyd went unconscious, he knew how to take a pulse, took the pulse. There was no pulse. He didn't care. So, at some point, yes, training, we need training. But a lot of these horrendous murders, they're not close calls. They are horrendous abuses of human rights. And you mentioned the Tamir Rice case. How does the Cleveland department put that man on the force? What is his name? Lowen or something like that? How does he get on the force? You got another department that says this guy is mentally unfit to be here. And you had the caller say, yeah, I don't think it's a real gun. Within seconds, he gets out the gun, blah, 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 kills a 12-year-old kid. This guy never should have been there. What we need, and what we need to do is we need to help the profession of policing, which I believe is a noble profession. I'm not anti-police at all, but I believe that it's a.
And neither am I.
Yeah, I think we need police to operate within a constitutional human rights framework. Because look, I'm a prosecutor. I know people are raped, robbed, drive-by shootings. Crime happens, and police are an important partner in protecting people. But they got to do their job constitutionally, or this is what happens. People won't call them, people won't cooperate with them. And people who commit crimes, if you're in the neighborhood saying, look, we're gonna run a drug game here, we're gonna sell dope up in here, and whoever doesn't like it, we're gonna eliminate them with violence. Now, the people who live in that neighborhood are gonna be like, I don't want these criminals doing this stuff, but I'm nervous about what the police are gonna do when they show up. You can't.
It has to be a trust factor. I mean, the police need the community, and the community needs the police.